Texting. We are back. Segment 2, IDD. For those of you in the know, I don't disagree. It is a Man Up Monday here in the Mid-Sac. The highly questionable one, RJ Miliaccio, flying solo tonight. Tom recovering. He was up in the Berg last night looking out for his dad. We wish his dad well. Hope he is feeling better sooner rather than later. Had a detached corona. That's a crazy recovery process. For those of you who haven't experienced that thing, I'm not going to get into it on the air, but his dad, this is awful. Hopefully it's over soon. But I know it's 5 days, at least 5 more days of this crap. And Tom is a good son, so he did what good sons do. Went up there to help his dad out last night. He's justifiably exhausted, so hopefully we'll see him back on Wednesday. And again, we wish his dad well, keeping him in our prayers. Segment 2, by the way, the Madness of March. We are in, the Sweet 16 is set. I'm just pulling up our bracket here. I said last week that the Big East got hosed. In terms of they only got 3 in, and they should have gotten at least 5, probably 6. The Mountain West, for whatever reason, got 6. Just to give you an understanding of what that entails, right now, the teams that were, the conferences that was, the Big Ten got too many teams too. So far in this tournament, the Mountain West is 3-5. The Big 12 is 3-3. The Big East is 6-0 and have all 3 of their teams in the Sweet 16. The ACC, who came under fire, is 8-1 and has 4 teams in the Sweet 16. So the ACC they got right. Okay, but the Mountain West, Big 12, the back, I don't know about that. I don't know. What I do know is that Seton Hall, Providence, and St. John's all had a legitimate gripe, and they were vindicated. Okay, so it is set, and the matchups this week coming up. By the way, these are going to be good. Let me get rid of that clown. I can't stand him right now. Sorry, I'm too upset with the Celtics right now for rational thought at this moment. Where are we? The bracket. Let's see the bracket right here. Here we go. The Sweet 16. So starting, what's today? Today is the 25th. Okay, so Thursday night, you're going to have a rematch of the national championship. Number 1 defending champ Uconn against San Diego State. Uconn's looked impressive in their first 2 games. The other bracket, this is a Donnie. You got the big, this is Uconn. The San Diego State, them, Illinois, the Big Ten champ, and Iowa State, the Big 12 champs. 3 versus 2 right there. Then you've got North Carolina, 1 seed in the West against number 4, Alabama, the SEC. Other side of the bracket, number 6, Clemson, ACC, number 2, Arizona out of the Pac-10. Moving over to the Midwest, this should be a good one. Number 2, Tennessee against number 3, Creighton. Tennessee out of the SEC, Creighton out of the Big East. And then you've got the Purdue, who, by the way, they've looked as impressive as Uconn, if not more so in this tournament, facing Gonzaga, who bitch-slapped Kansas, soft as puppy poo kid. And the big guy played. Kansas was up 1 at the half in that game, and just Zaga just boat raced him in the second half. That's the other Sweet 16 quarterfinal, if you will. Then going to the South, you've got Marquette against the tournament darling, the 11th seed NC State Wolfpack, who won the ACC. They're 11th seed. They are through to the Sweet 16. They have played well, but again, they upset 6-seeded Texas, and they beat upstart Oakland, who dropped Kentucky like a bad habit. So it's NC State Marquette. Closing out the Sweet 16, you have number 1 Houston, maybe the best defensive team in the country, against the number 4, hi DJ, Duke Blue Devils, who bum blasted, boat raced, bitch slapped, and bent over upstart James Madison to the tune of, let me say this slowly, 93-55. The question on Duke was, and Jay Will brought it up this morning on Get Up, And it was no secret. Everybody's been saying it. If they got hit in the mouth, could they respond? And up until yesterday, the answer was no. What happened yesterday, though, was different. They didn't wait to get hit in the mouth. They hit JMU first. And JMU is notorious at 27-3, hadn't lost a game in 2 months, for hitting people in the mouth and then beating them into submission. Duke didn't wait for that. They went at them. JMU went up, likes to press full court and wear you down. Duke's coach, who I think, I know Shire can coach, but he proved how good a coach he was yesterday because he didn't break that press to break that press. He broke that press to score and make them pay for pressing. He took their strength and he shoved it right down their throat. And kudos to him, because that's how you beat a team like that. If they're going to get in your face, number one, you have to have great guard play. Duke has great guards, and they were the best. They were awesome. Filipowski's Filipowski. I get it. His talent. He's 7'1". He can play inside. I get it. But the guards won this game. There's a freshman named McLean who set the record at Duke for three-pointers made in an NCAA tournament game, passing J.J. Redick and Kyrie Irving. No small feat, given who those two guys are. So this kid McLean stepped up. He's a freshman. He's one of the top freshmen in the country when he came out, and he finally looked like it when it mattered most. Now, here's the deal. Duke, as I said when the tournament began, had the talent to make a run. Did they have this? The team they're playing Thursday night, I believe it is Thursday night, right? Is it Thursday night? No, it's Friday night. Yeah, Friday night, because tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday night. The Houston Cougars, who have been number one for a good part of this season, have men on that roster. They are an older team. Duke is a younger team. So they're going to have to mature pretty quickly. Houston is JMU on steroids. And they really are when you look at how their style of play. They're JMU, but they're much better at it than JMU is. And JMU is a good team, but Duke was ready for them, and they went at them. They got 4 days really to get ready for this team. They're just a better version of JMU. Duke has to hit these guys in the mouth and make them pay and score inside and rebound. The other thing about Houston is they love to foul. They put Texas Tech on the line 45 times. If Texas Tech hadn't missed 19 free throws, Houston would be golfing right now. Duke has to be just as aggressive as A&M was, but they got to make their free throws. If they do that, they can win. But if they settle, just break that press to break that press, Houston will overwhelm them because they don't stop. They're relentless. But they will follow. So go to the basket, be aggressive, and good things can happen. The Uconn Huskies look every bit the part. And San Diego State's had a nice run getting back here, but they couldn't match up with them in the title game last year, and there's no reason to think they can match up with them now. I don't think Uconn played great in the second game. They won convincingly because they're Uconn, but they could have played better. So it's survive and advance. That Illinois-Iowa State game, that's one you're going to want to tune into. Those teams are very evenly matched. That could be a hell of a game. And then you've got Carolina and Alabama. Alabama, physically speaking, matches up very well with Carolina. They've got the horses to run with them. Do they play the game as well? That's the question. I've only seen Alabama play twice this year. So they won both those games, but neither of those teams was North Carolina. So it's not really. They more or less out talented those teams. They didn't have to outplay them. They're going to have to outplay Carolina, and Carolina has the talent to match them. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup to see in those tested will. Clemson, I'll tell you right now, people are sleeping on them. And when you look at their lineup and you look at the way they play the game, it's not a surprise that they're here. It's a surprise they weren't seated higher. So Arizona's Arizona. They've been top 10 all year. A lot of people compare them to Carolina from a talent and style perspective. Clemson has seen Carolina, so nothing Arizona. Here's the problem for Arizona. Clemson plays Carolina twice a year. So nothing Arizona is going to throw at them is going to faze them. That's a problem for Arizona. because Clemson's not going to be afraid of them or intimidated by them or anything else. Because if they're like Carolina, they've already seen them. There's nothing they're going to throw at them that they're not used to already. So that's not. I don't know if this is a good matchup for Arizona. Creighton, Tennessee. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Tennessee. The kid they got there, who I love his game. But it's, what's his name? Where is he? So give you an idea on this kid here. He's right here. Dalton Knight, 6'6", senior out of Thornton, Colorado. Averages 21 a game. He's the complete player. 6'6" guard. He can do it all. Got range, go to the basket, do post up. He can kind of do it all. The thing is, Creighton has the better starting five, even with him in it for Tennessee. But Tennessee has a better bench. So this is going to be a very interesting chess match between Tennessee and Creighton, because if Tennessee gets Creighton in foul trouble and they have to go deep into that bench, that plays into Tennessee's hands. So Creighton's got to play a clean game. They're a senior-laden team. They can shoot. They're big. They can do all that stuff. They've just got to play their game and not worry about what Tennessee's trying to do to them. And make this guy a one-trick pony. I don't know that you're going to stop Knight. He's a very good player. But what Creighton can do is shut the other four guys down, because this guy ain't going to beat Creighton by himself. I don't care how good he is. He won't. If I'm Creighton, you play him straight up and you lock everybody else down. If he gets 30, he gets 30. But if everybody else is in single digits, they ain't beating you. They're not beating you. So that's the approach I would take if I was Creighton. Lastly, look, the Purdue Boilermakers, and Eddie's been terrific. He's averaging 27 and 18 in the first two tournament games. They're boat racing people. They've been absolutely terrific. He's been terrific. Their guard play this year, I will say this. The question mark on them the last 2 years has been their guard play. It's been their downfall, for lack of a better term. Teams got in their face, they pressured them, and the guards weren't able to handle it. Their guards are better this year. They're playing better. They're attacking more. They're settling less. They're better, and they're experienced. So what was their biggest question mark, at least for the first two games, and teams went at their guards. So their guards are playing better. And if their guards are playing better, we know what Edey can do. And their guards, the thing about the NCAA tournament, everybody will tell you this, guards win this tournament. You have to have guards. Purdue's guards so far are playing a lot better in this tournament than they have in the past. And that bodes well for them. That continues. They're going to get in the Final Four, and they're going to be a legit threat to win it, because they can match Uconn down low. And not many teams can match Uconn down low, but Purdue certainly can. So that's going to be very interesting to see if they can. And again, Gonzaga is a seasoned team. They've been here a lot. This is going to be a good test for Purdue. This is going to be a good game. They're well coached by Mark Few. So that's going to be a hell of a game as well. NC State Marquette, Shaka's done a great job. He's a legit coach. He really is. And they got a good team. NC State is battle tested, though. They've gone through Duke. They've gone through UNC. They've gone through, who's the other one? They've gone through Clemson. So this NC State team, who, by the way, has Big South down low that Marquette's going to have to deal with. They're going to have to deal with this kid. He's for real. That's going to be a hell of a game as well. I love these matchups. I know one thing Ian was saying to me was because of the transfer portal and the NIL that the mid-major's gone away or Cinderella's not there. There's an 11 seed and there's a 6 seed. Problem is those seeds came out of a power conference like the ACC because they did. NC State's 11, Clemson is 6. So normally you see those, okay, we got somebody there, but then you look at where the conference they came out of, they're not Cinderellas. One of them won the ACC postseason tournament in NC State. So those seedings are misleading when it comes to those two. But in any event, those games, all of them, have potential Donnies written in stone if both teams bring it. Which with 4 days to prepare, these games should all be good. But anyway, on Wednesday night we're going to preview those games. We'll also have the Giggle Smoke guarantee. I will pick one of them, and then we'll see what happens on Saturday. But anyway, that's going to do it for our show tonight. I want to get a couple of segments in. It is Mine Up Monday, but it's the witching hour. The Redoubtable one will return on Wednesday. We will also update you on the Knicks and the Celtics. Actually, the Celtics are off. The Celtics play Atlanta again on Thursday. In Atlanta, again, it's not a home and home. It's a home with Atlanta. So we'll see what they've learned. But, oh, by the way, before we get off the air, Caitlin Clark tonight in her last home game, 30 points, broke the single-season scoring record. Why not? She's breaking every other record. Iowa didn't play great. Part of it was their opponent. West Virginia's legit. But they only made 5 of 22 three-point shots. But Caitlin Clark, 30 points, 7 rebounds, made her free throws down the stretch. I can be honest with you. She had 30 points. It didn't look good tonight. And the reason I'm saying that is this. If you play bad and you still score 30 and your team still wins, you're pretty good. In fact, you're better than pretty good. On an off night, you still score 30 and your team still wins by 10 or 8, whatever it was. You're better than pretty good. You're special. So hopefully that was the bad game out of their system. I said before the tournament began they had a tough draw, and so far they have. But we will update you on Thursday night because again, there's still games going on tonight. Once the Sweet 16 is set in the women's bracket, we will also update you on them on Wednesday night rather. But until then, for the Redoubtable One himself, highly questionable one, you guys enjoy the next 48 hours. We'll see you in 48 hours Wednesday night, and we will preview the Sweet 16, both men and women's brackets. Okay. Until then, boys and girls.